Hello everyone, my name is Cristian Negulescu. You know me for a lot of automation with UiPath. I did a lot of stuff with ChatGPT. Today we'll talk about Salesforce. So you know that I have in the past connectors with Salesforce. Now the new technology allow us to work with Salesforce with a connection from UiPath. So you have here the connectors for a lot of systems. But I want to talk about reports. And I want to show you something. So if I go here and say Salesforce, you see that I have a lot of activities for Salesforce. Yeah, you have also Salesforce Marketing Cloud and so on. So via integration service, we have a lot of connection. But for Salesforce, we don't have the reports. So we don't have yet the execute report. Yeah. So remember that in the past it was execute report. So we don't have this stuff. So I want to show you how to build this execute report. On each connector that we have on the integration service, we have now HTTP request. So basically you go here, so you say Salesforce, and if you write HTTP, you will find this HTTP request activity. Yeah, you see have also in Marketing Cloud and so on. This HTTP request activity allow you to have the diversity, to be able to go on the documentation, and from documentation you can execute what you want from the documentation. So even you don't have a dedicated activity for your particular case, with HTTP request you can go use the connection that is already created on the integration service, and then you can do what you want. So we'll do the execute report. So we see here on the Salesforce documentation that on the reports we have execute synchron. You go, you select the service data version of Salesforce. So I will use 57 analyst reports and report ID, and this will return me the report with details and so on. Yeah. So let's see how I will extract the reports from this one. So I will use the HTTP request. I already have the automation configured. I will show you that I have here a report in Salesforce. So this is a report created by me in Salesforce where I have 45 lines. This is the ID of the report. I will show you what I put on the UiPath, and I will show you that I will run the robot, and I will have the full report here on the on this Google Sheet, yeah, which this Google Sheet is empty. Good. Let's see what I have inside of this one. So this is on Salesforce report, and with this video, we'll see how it's working with HTTP request for each activity of the integration service. We'll talk about again with the JSON how we deserialize JSON, and we'll talk about how to create data tables on how we'll create data tables on UiPath Studio. I prefer to use UiPath Studio Web. So this was the HTTP request on this one. Let's see on this project inside of UiPath Studio Web. Okay. Okay, let's see what do we have inside of the project. So it's a manual trigger. I have an HTTP request, the get. Then I put the service. So you see by default here, he has the instance of Salesforce because from the integration service, he has all the connection. So I just need to put the endpoint for my from my stuff, and in this case it's this endpoint with the ID of the report. The ID of the report I take it from here, so from my report, this is the ID of my report. Okay, after this after we call this will return a JSON. The HTTP request will return a JSON, will return a string. This string will put it inside of a JSON, and we deserialize JSON. Then I have here some examples on how this JSON, it's a huge JSON. And from this huge JSON, we have two stuff to get. So we have the report extended meta, where we have the format of the report. And from the format of the report, we need to take the name of the columns that are put here with labels. So we have report extended meta. Then we have the detail column info. Then we have to get the label. And this is the labels of our 20 columns or not. We have to extract all these three labels. And on the other one, we have the information. On the information, it's under T exclamation T rows, and then we have data cells for each stuff. And here, because we have a report, we just need to put the label. The Salesforce provide also the information, the value with ID, record, and all this stuff. Yeah. So the Salesforce provide all the all the value. Yeah. But just for display, we'll use the label. So let's see how we decode this stuff. Yeah. So we deserialize this one, and first we have to take the headers. Yeah. To be able to take the headers, I will go here and I will say C type. Let me go on this one to. So I will take the report extended meta and then the detail column info. Yeah. With this one, I'll arrive on this point. So report extended data column info. And here we'll have a list of multiple objects. And from these multiple objects, I just need to extract the label. But with this expression, I arrive to that list of multiple objects. And this will multiple G token. Okay, good. After I do this, I do for each in each G token that with extended name, with name that I don't know. And then here, I will put the label. To be able to put the label, so I have a variable headers, which is a string variable. And on this header variable, I will add each name of the label. So here I will extract the GObject label, and this will convert to string. And I will put a comma, yeah, to make a list of the labels. Then I will say generate data table from text. And the text will be the headers minus the last element, because on the last element I will have another comma. After the last word, I will have another comma. And I want to remove that comma. And this will generate for me a data table. This will generate a data table. Good. Next, I want to extract the data. To extract the data, I want to extract first the object. So to arrive to that object, I have here fact map T exclamation T and rows to arrive on this point. So I go to that object to this point. Fact T rows and it's a GRA. Then I initialize a list as a string because I will add all my values in a list. And when I finish the list, I will add the list on a data row. So I will add the data row in the data table that I create with a list to array. Okay? Here, what I extract from here. So after I arrive here, I do a for each on the token of data cells. You can see here that I have data cells. So I go inside of data cells and I do a for each on this one. And from this one, I have to extract only the label. So if I go here, I will say append to collection, and to that collection, I will append the label. But the label as a function, be careful, because I put here open expression, and an open expression I say C object label C type value, and this is to string, yeah? So I'll format as a string, okay? And in this way, I compose each line. And I write this line on the data table. And on the end, I write this stuff to the Excel. I showed you that this one is empty. So you can here, as you can see, I have an empty one. I will go hit run. This will run on the cloud. So he's building, do all the stuff, and so on. and he will start running. Done. So he's already extracting the data from the JSON. So you have here the REST API documentation from Salesforce, on Salesforce developers. You have from Salesforce the report that we create, and you have the ID of the report. Then you use the HTTP request inside of UiPath. You parse the JSON as I showed you. And on the end, we'll write this data table inside of the Excel. Yeah. And you can have also on the Salesforce website, you will find example of the way how the report it's structured. And here we just go to JSON and extract only the data that we want. So that was the structure of the report, the detail column. Then you have the label, and on the other one, on the on this one with fag map, we have the T exclamation T rows, and then data cells, and from data cells you take the labels. And in this way, we are able to extract all the data from the report. Very nice to our Salesforce with our robots. So let's go back to the system and see if it's finished. I was able to have a problem with conversion of data time. I know. Wait a minute. I will show you exactly from where is do this stuff. So I'll explain you where is the error. I ran it multiple times in the past and was working, but by default on this generate data table, the system is coming with auto detect column types. Yeah. Which was working for me because I don't use this one first column, first row to be column headers. Yeah. So the system put for me column 1, column 2, column 3, and so on. Yeah. But I said, okay, for the video demo, let's use this one. Use first row as column headers. And when he has auto data type and fourth row as column headers, when he will detect stuff with date and time, so he will detect in the name of the column that he has something special, specific with the date and time, he will detect that is date and time. And if the value from Salesforce is not coming as a date and time, that will generate the error. So let's see now the result. So remember to not have this one. So we have the owner. Let me. You see here in Salesforce. So first one on the owner role was nothing. Then we have Sinegulescu. Then we have the account ID. Then we have the account name, opportunity stage, fiscal period, lead staff, type of the type lead source, type, next, and so on. So everything was able to extract here exactly like I have on the on my Salesforce report. So in this way, you are able to create an to execute a Salesforce report with the REST API. Yeah, if you want to call a Salesforce report with filters, I have here Salesforce report filter. I have an old video, and on that old video, you have to build an Apex procedure. You see, so you can call UiPath can call a Salesforce report with filters, but you need to create an Apex procedure, and from UiPath, you need to call that Apex procedure. It's more technical stuff to be able to create with filters, but I promise that I will study, and if I will find more details, I will try to introduce also this stuff with filters on this version with raw REST API. As usual, if you like my movies, please come to my channel, subscribe to my channel, comment to my movies, and tell me what else you want to see on my channel. Thank you very much for watching. Stay safe. Have a good one. Bye bye.